There are no maps on a boat, just charts. There are no ropes on a boat, just lines. This week, we're gonna have a chat about those lines. But first, cue the intro.
I'm Brooke, and this is Brayden. We have 2 kids and 2 dogs, Rooney, Penn, Fraser, and Captain. At 75 tons and 55 feet long, our home is different. With time being non-renewable and our home being, well, movable, around the world we go as we roam to know. Welcome aboard, Mermaid Monster.
Hey Brooke, don't you think this intro is a bit overbearing? We're not crossing the Atlantic here, we're only going out for a day sail.
Cruise.
Well, now that you've cued the intro and showed a dramatic opening scene, let's show them the ropes of the lines.
I see what you did there. Talking about dock lines, or boat lines in general. Well, the last time I checked, in order to keep your boat from drifting away and becoming someone else's boat, or drifting away and slamming into another boat, you not only need to know how to secure a line to a boat, but you also need to know how to secure a boat to the dock. Furthermore, we use lines to tie, lash, and strap anything and everything down on the deck. Basically, when we walk into a marine shop and forget what we're going in for, we usually walk out with some freshly cut line. Because, why not? See what I did there? So, let's get to it. Dock lines typically come in 3 weave types. You have your 3-strand, which is easy to splice, less expensive, stretches more, but is also crappier. You have braided nylon, which is strong and easy to handle, but is not as good as double braided nylon. This is our favorite, it's the strongest line, it's easy to handle, and it's abrasive resistant. You also have mooring lines, which can sometimes be made of the unstretchable Dyneema line, which is considered stronger than Kevlar. Before I go into the science of what circumference of line you should have aboard your vessel, according to its length and tonnage, I'll tell you to just Google it. There are a few theories out there, but they all are pretty similar. It is also just common sense. Get nice lines the first time around. Soft, double-braided lines that are the right size and proportion to your vessel, and are also abrasive resistant. To be honest, ours are ridiculously oversized. We do not ever have to worry about them breaking in a storm. We just have to be careful that we don't give someone a black eye when we're heaving them overboard. Aside from dock lines, there are other lines for PFD or personal flotation devices, also known as the orange or white life ring that kids wants to constantly rip off and play with. You can also use polyline to strap stuff down with. Polypropylene is a common one for personal flotation devices. This line is used for flotation devices because it floats. However, this line breaks down quickly, turns brittle in the sun. It literally gave me a sliver once, and it needs to be replaced fairly often. All in all, don't go tying down your boat with this line. The biggest ongoing argument that comes up amongst the cruiser community is, do you tie your lines to the dock with the loop on your boat, or do you tie your line to your boat with the loop on the dock? While we used to tie our lines to the dock, we find ourselves slowly switching over to the latter. Why? Honestly, truthfully, because many salty sailors have told us that we need to. They also say it's for safety reasons. You can untie your boat from the dock quickly in case of an emergency while still being able to drive away, and you can also adjust your lines from your boat as well. While we do agree, kind of, we have found one annoyance with this method. It leaves a pile of line in our narrow passageway, which quickly becomes a tripping hazard. The last thing we could talk about is chafing gear, but we will spare you and save that for another time because clearly we are handling this situation the redneck way. According to our parts list, we have extra chafing gear somewhere in bin 43, baggie number 7. Maybe, just maybe, this will motivate Brayden to dig it out. As a bonus to this week's episode, I thought I would take a second and talk about the Annapolis Boat Show and a few things Brayden and I discussed about things to look out for and also be aware of when looking to purchase a boat. Mainly, here are our thoughts on boat brokers.
Alright, so Brayden just called me. He's on the road, he's driving, and he brought up a really good point and some information that he was going to share, but he said, you know, you have the nice camera, you might as well share. By the way, isn't this so cute? Palmer, I love it. Alright, so when we bought this boat a year and a half ago almost, when we bought this boat, I cannot tell you how many people did not take us seriously when we were looking at boats. They just did not take us seriously. You know, we would go to offices, we'd go to marinas, we'd want to tour boats, and we got turned down more times than we got let onto a boat. And let me tell you a little something about that. Run from those boat people. You don't need to impress them. You really, really should not have that person selling you a boat. So we're going to give you some tips on how to find the right broker or the right person to work with when you're purchasing a boat. Wear whatever the heck you want when you're going to look at boats. We noticed this at the boat show that we were just at, and it was really frustrating to watch. Again, we did not get taken seriously. There were some boats that we just wanted to poke our heads in, and we were treated differently, probably because we're young and they don't know that we live on a boat, and probably because I don't dress fancy. And I felt that we were sized up a lot, and I don't like that. You know, like Brayden made the example. It's one thing if you're asking to get bumped to first class on a plane flight. Maybe dress a little nicer because you're asking something for free. But when you are going to give away a large chunk of your money, you should not have to dress any part. The sales broker should, because he's selling you a boat, but you don't need to. And also, when you get on that boat, if you're the one asking all the questions and he's not asking you any questions, or she, about what you're looking for and what you need this boat to do, run. Go to a different boat person. They're not going to help you. You know, and another thing, if you see them Googling the draft of the boat you're on, run. If they don't know the stats of the boat that they're showing you, they're not going to be able to help you after you purchase the boat either. So something to think about. And when we called Nordhaven, our friend, he's a good friend now, Devin Zwick, he's in the Northwest office up in Annapolis. He was the only one that took us seriously, and he took the time to entertain us and to show us a boat, and we made an offer on 3 different 55s, and we ended up with the one that was least on our radar. But it was all happening for a reason, and now we're on our dream boat for the time being. And Devin did not assume anything about us. He was kind, he was patient, he answered all of our questions, and then after we purchased the boat, he still answers all of our questions. So there's a few people out there that I could recommend when looking at a Nordhaven and looking at a boat. But consider those things. If you're feeling like awkward asking questions on that boat or working with that person, go find a different person. They should be friendly, knowledgeable. You're about to give them a lot of money, so they should be nice to you. And we saw this arrogant attitude with a lot of boat brokers, and I don't get it. I don't get it. So those are our 2 cents on when you're purchasing a boat and what to look for in a broker that's going to actually help you find the boat that you need for your adventure. So hopefully that helps. But you?
I think it was.
You said you wanted to do Rudy?
You had to say so. You had to tell us something.
Yeah, it was a secret.
Yeah, I've got fancy iPhone footage, so that's what we're rolling with right now.
Octopus gummy.
Billy.
I don't know that I'm videoing. Hold on.
Just
You ain't a YouTuber, I can
take
see
the
that.
flash. Right?
Now here's video. Say hey. Say hey.
Thank you.
Hey guys.
I got this really cool thing for you. And it's a Lego set, and it's ginormous. And it is a type of tail.
As always, thank you for watching. If you like what you've seen, give it a like and subscribe. See you all next week.